person, but we are excited to play for you a personal message he kindly recorded for us. So if we could run that video at this point.
Thrilled to congratulate you on being selected to join the 125th Annual Rose Bowl Parade in Pasadena, California. Being in the band is about more than learning how to play an instrument. It's about teamwork, communication, patience, discipline, and practice. Lots of practice. You all learn how to effectively work together as a team, creating a magnificent sight and sound that moves others. And you've learned math too, lots of math. The ability to read music, to the memorization of your marching routines. Being in a marching band is not only an opportunity to be artistic, it is also a chance to practice and improve your math skills. But more is about being in a band. So, congratulations on this incredible accomplishment and opportunity to represent Minnesota in the Rose Bowl Parade. I know the teamwork behind this effort includes your band leaders, Steve Olson, Leon Sieve, and Bohan Hoover, as well as all the teachers, and parents, and volunteers, and community businesses who have put in countless hours helping you reach this point. Keep up the good work, enjoy the warm weather next January while your classmates are freezing, the opportunity to perform in the Rose Bowl Parade.
It is a huge honor for Cindy and me to be here in your great town. And wow, I'm just thrilled to hear all these great things about your school and your marching band. And we are so looking forward to Rosemont High School appearing in the 2014 Rose Bowl. In 1890, and January 1st, 2014, will mark our 125th parade and our 100th Rose Bowl game. And very importantly, a little bit less than a week later on January 6th, we will also host at the Rose Bowl Stadium the BCS National Championship game this year. So we have 2 games coming up. The parade will be seen in person by nearly 1 million people on the streets. Over 57 million people will watch on television in the United States. And it's estimated that our parade will be seen by over 350 million people around the world. As you saw, last year we had in our game Wisconsin and Stanford. And Wisconsin, as probably most of you know, a very traditional Midwestern marching band. And Stanford has a band that's anything but traditional. So it was fun to see that difference. As you've heard, this year's theme is Dreams Come True. And on the front of the lectern here is one of our posters. And I do believe that a lot of you students will be getting some of those posters later on, but we're very proud of that poster. I call it Orange Crate Art. Remember back the old sun-kissed days of the backs of orange crates, we had bright colors with a sunbeam, and we tried to achieve that kind of retro look with our poster and also our pins. So I hope you enjoy that. The theme is basically my past 31 years experience in the Tournament of Roses. And as I reflect on how it developed, it was really my listening to people over all those years. We heard a story about a 7-year-old Chinese boy in Western China who wanted to come to Pasadena because he loved the way that we celebrate the New Year's with floral floats. It would be a dream come true for him to come to Pasadena. Again and again, we've heard from people across the country who say that it is on their bucket list to come to the Rose Parade or the Rose Bowl game, and it would be a dream come true. To the volunteers who tirelessly decorate these parade floats, especially in the week between Christmas and New Year's. The equestrian units who work hard to get accepted to be in our parade. College football players, as you saw, as they strive to be their conference champions and be elected to be in the Rose Bowl game. And of course, the band members from across the country and around the world who work so hard in practice to perfect their musicianship and their marching ability. Again and again and again, I have been told it would be a dream come true to participate in our events. And thus, we have selected that as our theme. And I'd like to add to it, though, that dreams just don't come true in a passive context. It's an active thing where you set goals and you work hard to achieve them. So I typically tell people, yes, dreams come true, but only if you pursue them. This coming year, we will have in the Rose Parade nearly 50 floral floats, 20 bands, and 15 equestrian units, plus quite a few celebrities. The floats make our parade unique, but without music, we wouldn't have much of a parade. Music has been important to us ever since 1891, when our first band, it was a 20-member town band, first marched in our parade. We featured international bands every year, including bands from Australia, England, Switzerland, Japan, Mexico, Taiwan, Norway, Thailand, Costa Rica, Guatemala, and this year, first time ever, a band from Panama. And Cindy and I just last week spent 5 days down in Panama. Salvation Army has been the longest consecutively appearing band in our parade. They've been in every parade since 1920. Annually, we have 6 repeat bands, which include the Salvation Army and the Marine Corps. And we have the winners of 2 competitions, including the Bands of America competition. The winner of that competition gets an invite to be in our parade. The balance of the bands, 12, are specifically chosen by the tournament, meaning myself and Cindy, based on a variety of criteria, including musical talent, marching ability, entertainment value, showmanship, and geographic diversity. Importantly, as you heard earlier, our parade is one of the longest in the world at 5.5 miles. So it's necessary for all of our band members to be in excellent shape, and I expect that from you. To give everybody a chance to participate, we have a 4-year no repeat rule, so that you will be in our parade in 2014, but the next time that you might be eligible again will be 2018. I hope to see you then. This year we've had nearly 100 applications for those 12 open slots, and from that group we will have a green band from Japan. As I mentioned, the band from Panama. They will be celebrating their 100th anniversary of the canal. And the first time ever, we will have a band from the state of Alaska. We're aware of the significant financial investment that's required to come out to Pasadena. Cost of transportation, lodging, and food for nearly a week is often $2,500 or more per band member. We've been mightily impressed by the creative fundraising that is used by our bands, often bringing together the entire community to send a band to Pasadena. Most of those involve dinners, concerts, things of that sort. We did go to one community where the BMW dealer donated 2 cars and they auctioned them off. That was pretty extraordinary. Also, an interesting one that happened a couple years ago. A farmer took a cornfield and cut in the cornfield a Tournament of Roses logo as part of a maze, and then sold tickets to go through this maze. And I thought that was pretty creative. But I applaud all those, including local corporations and community supporters who are donating as part of this venture. You know, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention briefly the importance of and the many benefits that come from being involved with music. It's mentally, physically, and socially. We knew we were going to be on center stage, and we had to have the best music possible. And sure enough, he said, within a couple months, we were all paying attention to every part of the band. And our music was awesome, and we were so proud of our music. Third, he said, you know, we had to raise money to come to Pasadena. He told the story, he said, you know, my gang could have raised that with just a couple deals, but the band director wouldn't allow us to do that. So he said, you know, we did the traditional chicken dinners, car washes, bake sales, we did all that. But he said, what I remember about it was setting a budget, knowing we had a goal, keeping track of revenue, marketing expenses. He said, you know, when I was 17 years old, I was really paying attention to how basic accounting works. And he said, that stayed with me my whole life. But last he said, it was amazing how the Tucson community had come together to support the band. Because this band was going to be representing not only the city of Tucson, but the state of Arizona in one of the biggest parades in the world. And he said that was an incredible feeling to see the community come and support us. But he said, none of it compares to being in Pasadena on January 1st of that year. He said, we were on the street where the parade forms. It's called Orange Grove Boulevard. And he said, we were marching toward that camera corner. You saw that on some of the video. Giant grandstands there, and all of our broadcasters have their cameras. And he said, we got to that corner, and it's a sharp turn. It's about a 110-degree turn. And it's tough even for the Marine Corps to make that turn. But he said, we got to that corner, and we turned. And he said it was January 1st. A time of hope and joy that maybe things could be better for the upcoming year. The sun was coming up. It was about 8:20 when his band went around the corner. Had an orange glow on the San Gabriel Mountains. You saw some of that on there too. At that corner, we probably have 45,000 people just on that corner alone in tall grandstands. 8 broadcasters, lots of cameras, lots of click lights. He said it was amazing at that corner, and we turned the corner and we looked east. And on Colorado Boulevard, which is the main stretch of our parade, it goes east for 5 miles, and you can see all the way down to 5 miles. And he said, I saw what looked like 1 million people, and it felt like they had all come out to see me and my band play on January 1st. He said that moment right there on that corner at Colorado Boulevard in the Rose Parade is what changed my life. He said, I knew at that moment that what I had been doing in my life wasn't what was intended for me. He said, I knew there was something better in the world. There were opportunities that I wasn't taking advantage of. And he vowed at that point, right there on that street corner, he was going to become a better person. That fellow now has 7 restaurants, all called Oreganos, throughout the Arizona area. He has 4 insurance companies. He's been Businessman of the Year 3 times in Tucson. And he says, I want you to go and share my experience I want you to share that with people in the Tournament of Roses and all the people you meet. Because what you do in putting on the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl game is much more than a parade and a game. It transforms people's lives. It makes them better. And it stays with them throughout their lives. And so it is. And I think you will experience a similar sort of transformation when you hit that street corner and you look east on January 1st. There are roughly 25,000 high schools in this country. There are countless hundreds of thousands more around the world. But using the selection criteria that I described earlier, the Rosemont High School Marching Band was chosen to be part of our events. I congratulate you on your invitation to participate in the 2014 Rose Parade. I look forward to seeing you all in Pasadena on New Year's Day. Thank you for listening, and remember, dreams come true, but only if you pursue them. Thank you very much.